already talked about these two wide receivers, right? I talked about Robby Anderson and I talked about Sammy Watkins last night. And at first, of course I'm one of them, but then I was like, you know what, with the salary cap, we're gonna have to spend money on Laremy Tunsil, Deshaun Watson, Zach Cunningham, and DJ Ritter. Who knows what's gonna happen with him? So then I saw a post today, right, which totally changed my whole perspective. And it was that this wide receiver draft class is so heavy that people like Robby Anderson, people like Sammy Watkins, market, their need will not be that high because teams will rather draft than sign. So my question to you guys is who would you rather have, Robby Anderson or Sammy Watkins? Cue the intro.
The city of the dream team, Hakeem, Two-Ring, Beyonce, yeah, man. And I remember hot summer, hot winter. I couldn't fight, so the block made a hot spin.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I'm your host, Ruben Calvillo. We're still doing the giveaway for this lovely poster up here, one exactly like it. We're at 296 subscribers. We're steadily growing every day, so thank you guys for watching. But let's get on to the video, right? So the question is, who would you rather have, Robby Anderson or Sammy Watkins? They're both around the same age, 26, 20, 25. And look at the stats, they're almost the exact same. For Robby Anderson, he had 52 catches, 779 yards, 5 touchdowns. Sammy Watkins, 52 catches, 673 yards, 3 touchdowns. Here's the thing, Robby Anderson played a full 16 games. Sammy Watkins played 14, but he played the whole postseason for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to give you guys who, each one of them, Robby Anderson and Sammy Watkins. The best thing about Robby Anderson is Robby Anderson has played with horrible quarterbacks. He's played with Sam Darnold, Brian Poole, he's played with Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's played with Josh McCown, he's played with a bunch of bum quarterbacks, and he was able to produce, right? You don't give 779 yards with 3 quarterbacks this season, but that is what he was able to do. He is a speedster. He was a 4'3" guy. He catches everything. He's tall. He's like 6'3", 6'4". He could win the 50-50 ball, and we saw how he could be productive as a number one wide receiver. But who knows how productive he could be as a number 2. For me, I think he is a good replacement for Will Fuller. And here's why I say that. They're basically kind of the same player. They had the same number of stats, really. The only thing was that Robby Anderson was healthy. And if you put Robby Anderson in that system and literally replace him with Will Fuller, I could see Robby Anderson absolutely flourishing. Why? Because he doesn't have the number 1 corner. He's going to have the number 2 corner while DeAndre Hopkins gets the number 1 and the safety. And it's one-on-one on Robby Anderson. And Robby Anderson, like Will Fuller, with their God-given speed, are going to win every single time. He is a playmaker when he has the ball, much like Sammy Watkins is. And, he could, at first, people would think he was going to get 14, 15 mil a year. And then we see that this draft has so many good wide receivers that a lot of teams are going to draft instead of spend. So people like the New York Jets, who Robby Anderson plays for, are hoping that he gets to the $10 million range. And, for us, we're going to give Fuller $10 million, whether we like it or not. So why not use that money that you're giving to Will and give it to Robby Anderson and then watch this offense absolutely flourish? I'm going to tell you my 3 points of why I think it's going to help. For 1, he's going to be there for 16 games plus postseason. For 2, he has solid, reliable hands and playmaker ability. And 3, your offensive game plan does not change because he is going to be in the lineup every single week. That is the type of player that Robby Anderson is. He's not a diva. He's not going to come in and bring trouble. He's going to come in and absolutely be hungry because he's finally going to be on a winning team. And that's why I think Robby Anderson will be a great fit for the Houston Texans. Onward to Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins, has been with 2 different teams. He's been with 3 different teams. He's been with the Buffalo Bills, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Kansas City Chiefs. He had a very respectable season. He had 52 catches, 673 yards, along with those 3 touchdowns. Half of those, not even half, but 200 of those yards and all his touchdowns came in week 1 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sammy Watkins was supposed to make $20 million this year. He will certainly not get that, The thing about Sammy Watkins is that when he's healthy, he could be dynamic. When he gets the ball, He can make plays. He can make people miss. He could definitely run over you. He is a possession wide receiver. Not to mention, he goes to Clemson, and the Houston Texans, they love Clemson players. Hop, Deshaun Watson, DJ Reader, Carlos Watkins. We love Clemson football, so it will be very good if we brought Sammy Watkins onto the team. Another thing he brings him is reliable hands. He could go up and get the ball. Whenever the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs needed a big play, needed a big conversion, they went to Sammy Watkins. And Tyreek Hill, he is a burner. He is their speedster. Sammy Watkins is more as a possession wide receiver. I'm not saying Sammy Watkins could go get that deep ball, because he certainly can. Sammy Watkins can bring that leadership, that veteran leadership. He won a Super Bowl last season. He was a focal point of that offense. He led all wide receivers with Tyreek Hill. He led all wide receivers in yardage. He was Patrick Mahomes' go-to guy during the playoffs. So who knows how far he could take off on this Houston Texans team. Another thing to think about is that he was the third option on the Kansas City Chiefs. He was behind Tyreek Hill, and he was behind Travis Kelce. So who knows what's going to happen as well is if you put him in that second wide receiver number, because he's never been a second wide receiver. He's always been either the first or the third. And, he could flourish on this Houston Texans team, because being with his brother, with DeAndre Hopkins, they play together at Clemson. They are going to try to push each other to the limit and try to be the best wide receiver core that they can be. And also, we love Clemson players. So who knows what type of production that Sammy Watkins can get. The only question for Sammy Watkins is, can he stay healthy? He's been injury bugged before. He played 14 games this season, as well as the 3 playoff games. So he respectively had a healthy season. But if you're asking me personally, I would take Robby Anderson. He's the type of player that that if you're gonna get rid of Fuller, that's the type of player that will fit the role. If you get Robby Anderson or Sammy Watkins, Will Fuller is going to be gone. That I'm gonna just say that right now. There's no reason why you're gonna keep Will Fuller if you're getting a Robby Anderson or a Sammy Watkins. So the question to you guys is who would you rather have? Would you rather have Robby Anderson, or would you have Sammy Watkins? If it's me, it's Robby. But let me guys know. As always, go Texans. You guys have a blessed day.